A lot of people feel that same way, where they feel, okay, like what I'm doing right now, not really happy. I want to be doing something else. So in order to shift to that something else, you have to first accept where you are. Because when you resist, when you go, no, I hate being in this situation. I hate being in this situation. Of course, this isn't to compare to a toxic relationship or an abusive relationship. Yes, that's not something you should be accepting. If you're in a toxic, abusive, or whatever, even if it's just family, then you need to remove yourself, even though obviously each toxic situation is somehow a gateway to learning. But that doesn't mean that you have to stay in order to learn. You can shift out of that so that you are in a healthier space and take in the lessons of that pain, not continue to stay in that toxic environment. So that's a separate, I'm not saying that if you're in a toxic environment, it's okay to stay there. I'm referring to if you're in a job, or if you're just feeling stagnant in life, or just maybe you're not working right now, whatever your situation is, whatever it is, whatever energy that you feel like there's this sense of not being complete, it's okay to accept that energy and to say, okay, but it's temporary. It's not going to be like that forever. But if you keep resisting what feels uncomfortable, then that's only going to keep you in that loop, because you're going to keep attracting whatever it is you're resisting. Because, as the cliche saying, what you resist persists, right? And so instead of resisting, you surrender to it. Now, I've many times in my workshops and some of the IGTV videos, I openly talk about how I did not resist the pain. When I had a horrible heartbreak, I did not resist the pain. I let it completely, I welcomed it into my life. Of course, I was feeling not very comfortable having it in my life, but I didn't resist it. I didn't try to numb it down. I didn't try to run away. I didn't try to tuck it under the rug or put it in a pretty box and put it away on the shelf with a pretty bow. I didn't try to deny the existence of the pain. I didn't try to resist it. I just allowed it to be. Because when you allow something to be, it will eventually, the painful part will eventually pass. When you allow pain to just be, then it will eventually pass, because you accept that it's here to teach you, and then allow yourself to move through the pain, okay? And of course, that involves using your free will to make the choice. So if, when I say allow the pain, I don't mean, if you're, let's say, looking at photos of your ex and that's just making you cry. Now, if you do that in the beginning of a breakup and you do that and that's what you feel like you need to do, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. So I'm just using this example. But continuing to do that, staying in that memory of the pain and the pain and the pain, you have the choice not to do that. So establishing healthy habits. So instead of doing that, maybe saying, you know what, I'm just going to put my phone away, put it in a box, whatever you need to do, go for a 5-minute walk. I can't tell you how many times I go hiking and I leave my phone at home. So you can do that. You can leave your phone at home. You can put your phone away for 5 minutes. You can be present with your family. If you have a child, be present with your child. Babies especially, they're so present. And pets too, dogs, cats, they're just so present. They don't have their ego going, what are you doing? And what are you thinking? And don't think that, and don't think this. And they don't have that. They're just, I'm eating my food. I'm drinking water. I'm laying on the couch. I'm laying on the windowsill, absorbing the sunlight. I'm being loved by my, I don't know what pets actually refer to their owners as, because I don't believe in owning your pet. I know that the simple definition of that, but the intention behind that. But they're all souls, right? And so you choose to interact with certain souls, and When you sit with a being that is not stuck in its egoic mind like humans, when you sit with a being like the visualization I took you through, you see a bunny, you see a squirrel, you see a lizard, and you go out hiking wherever you are, whether it's a bird, just anything, even if it's just a plant. Plants have energy. We take in the energy of the plants. Everything is energy. The couch you're sitting on, the chair you're sitting on is energy. Everything is energy. And so you are able to just be present with that energy and to just be mindful of just being in the moment. And I talk about sometimes just peeling an apple, whatever fruit you choose to eat. What if you just sat down without watching a movie or the news or looking at your phone or anything? Just peel an apple and just sit with it. Just sit with it. Sometimes maybe it helps to imagine that you live in the 18th century where there is no TV, where there is no phone, and just, imagine what people did. They wrote letters to each other. They actually sat down and took a pen out, wrote down on paper. Imagine if you're in quarantine during that time without your phone, without anything. So, I remember as a little girl, I was knitting during the war. I was like knitting sweaters, writing and reading books, just trying to pass time, pretending like I live in this magical world where there is no war. So your imagination is very powerful. So going back to this question about meditating, theta healing, the visualization that I take you through, yes, it's using your imagination, because what you can imagine can be real. And when you're imagining things, you're actually seeing sometimes it's just fantasizing, right? That's something that's not real. But visualization, in terms of aligning to what you wish to manifest, it's really powerful because you're aligning with that. So there are different types of meditation. So when people say meditation can just be 1 minute in silence, just sitting 1 minute, just like how I had you start in the beginning. It could be you just drove through crazy traffic and you come home before getting out of your car. I do this sometimes when I go see a friend or whatever, especially if I drove through crazy traffic. I will park and I will just spend at least a minute or two just closing my eyes and just imagining myself, feeling myself be present in my seat, in my car, and just taking some breaths. So focusing on your breath will really help. So if you're new to meditation, just focusing on your breath alone, just focusing on the oxygen going in and then leaving your body, going in and then leaving your body, and allowing it to circulate through. If you just focus on your breath, you will actually be able to become so used to focusing on your breath that your thoughts will start to fade away more and more. Does that make sense? So there is no right or wrong way to meditate. I don't want you to think like, oh no, because somebody who was on earlier, we had a private session the other day and she said, I'm so frustrated. I can't meditate. I'm trying so hard to meditate and I can't. Well, meditation is not about trying so hard. It's about literally just surrendering. Literally just surrendering to whatever it is, and watching your mind as if it's a movie.